Today we're tackling a big question I get all the time. Should I move to Mount Dora or to Eustis? They're right next to each other, literally just a few minutes apart, but the vibe is different, the housing is different, and the lifestyle can feel pretty different too. So let's break it down in a way that's going to be helpful if you're relocating and trying to figure out where you'll feel most at home. I'm Riley, your Mount Dora realtor. I put out videos each week about life and real estate here. So whether you're moving in 3 weeks or 3 months, book a call with me in the description box below and let's chat about your move, but let's get to it. Now, my YouTube channel is called Relocating to Mount Dora, so obviously Mount Dora is the one with the reputation. It is charming, it's historic, it's an artsy town that everyone comes to for the festivals. If you've been around here for a while, you know that Mount Dora is also called Festival City, and that's because there's something going on almost every month, especially in the winter. So you have art fairs, craft shows, Christmas lights, Plant and Garden Festival, Jane Austen Festival, and so much more. Downtown Mount Dora really feels like a little bit of a Hallmark town. Your brick-lined streets, your boutiques, your coffee houses, restaurants, everything tucked into nice, beautiful, historic buildings. It is a little bit of a slower pace, a little artsier, and feels like you're on vacation a lot of the time. Now, I will say this is primarily downtown Mount Dora. So when you leave the downtown area, the neighborhoods that are surrounding the downtown are still going to be your smaller lots, your more quaint properties, but you do have a little bit more new construction in those areas and fewer historic homes. Eustis, on the other hand, has a little bit of a different energy. It's a little more laid back, a little more practical, but still so cute and very full of charm. Downtown is centered around Ferran Park and Lake Eustis. So this is where you're gonna find the bandshell, where they do concerts and events. We have the First Friday street parties downtown and the Wednesday farmers market. There's also a growing brewery and local dining scene that has been picking up over the past few years. Overall, you're gonna see that life here is really centered around the lake and around families. So while Mount Dora pulls in more tourists, Eustis is a lot more about the locals, the residential, your family, kids running around on the splash pad, neighbors hanging out around the local breweries, folks that love fishing and boating, all those sorts of fun things. Now, let's get into the numbers for housing because this is where Mount Dora and Eustis really start to separate. In Mount Dora, the median sold price right now as of September of 2025 is about $420,490. And again, these are going to be your new construction homes or properties that are closer to downtown, so you're typically going to see your higher prices. Mount Dora taxes are also a little bit higher, so that contributes to those higher prices as well. If you're looking for larger lots and older properties, there are a few neighborhoods that could accommodate that, but this is definitely more something that you would find in Eustis. Now, let's take a look at these numbers. The median sold price in Eustis is about $350–200. So right away, you can see you're saving a big chunk of money compared to Mount Dora. And as I mentioned earlier, these are going to be your larger lots. So if you're looking for something half an acre or more, this is very typical to find in this area. Eustis does have a bit of new construction as well, but a lot of these properties are going to be built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, a little bit of your older neighborhoods. They're definitely your typical residential everyday neighborhoods. Some have HOAs and some don't, but overall, if you're looking for a little bit more space to spread out in an area that still has great access to amenities, easy access to Orlando, then Eustis is going to be my recommendation. Now, if you're moving here for work, you're going to be glad to know both towns are still within that 45 minutes of downtown Orlando. So that's going to open up your jobs in tech, in healthcare, hospitality, and finance, all of the big industries that Orlando is known for. Locally, Mount Dora's economy is more tied to tourism, to small businesses, and the festival crowd. Eustis leans a little more towards industry and towards healthcare. We have the Advent Health Waterman facility, the forerunner of employment here in the area. The new Wekiva Parkway has made commuting so much easier so you can get to downtown or the airport without spending hours in traffic. A lot of people like living out here in the Mount Dora and Eustis areas because you can still commute, but come home to that smaller town life. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown of Mount Dora versus Eustis and you're planning your move to Central Florida, reach out to me directly. I work with a lot of clients relocating here from out of state. I would love to help you figure out which town is the best fit for your lifestyle. let's get back to it. So my families always want to know about schools. Both Mount Dora and Eustis are part of the Lake County School District, but which school you're zoned for depends on the neighborhood that you live in. Mount Dora has Mount Dora High and Middle, while Eustis has Eustis High and Middle. There are also a lot of charter and private options around here, like Christian academies and Montessori programs. If you're looking for school ratings and reviews, niche.com is going to be a great resource for those. But just know that because you live in either Mount Dora or in Eustis, especially when it comes to private or Montessori schools or even homeschool co-ops, you're an easy 5 to 10 minute drive either area. Now, when it comes to dining and entertainment, Mount Dora is definitely going to be the front runner here, but I will say Eustis is quickly picking up speed. Mount Dora is known for its great small town dining scene, so you're going to find those upscale waterfront restaurants, your cozy wine bars, your coffee shops, and plenty of places with live music on the weekends, which is so fun. Your shopping is more boutique style for antiques, with your art galleries, and unique finds that you are definitely not going to find in a shopping mall. Eustis is a little bit more casual, but still full of great options. So for dining, you're going to find breweries, pizza spots, newer restaurants popping up in downtown. Feels a lot more hometown and a little bit less touristy than what you find in Mount Dora. But if you're looking for your bigger box shopping or chain restaurants, both towns really rely on the 441, which runs right down both Eustis and Mount Dora. Where you're going to find your Target, your Publix, your Lowe's, your Chick-fil-A, Tijuana Flats, Longhorn, just about anything else you can think of. One of the best parts about living in Lake County is right in the name, the lakes. Mount Dora sits on Lake Dora, and that means your scenic boat tours, waterfront dining, and some beautiful lakefront homes. The Harris chain of lakes is hundreds of acres of lakes spanning across the county, and both Eustis and Mount Dora are key components of this area. So if you love your boating, your fishing, your kayaking, or even just beautiful leisurely walks across the water, you are going to love living here. Eustis is known for Ferran Park, which runs right along the water with walking trails, fishing spots, and room for festivals and fireworks, all the good stuff. Mount Dora and Eustis both have really easy access to both public docks and private docks, so there are a lot of ways to enjoy the waterfront no matter where you're going. Something else to think about if you are relocating is growth. Mount Dora is pretty established for the most part, especially centering right around downtown. So most of the growth that's happening is on the edges and outside of downtown. So this can be new communities, we have a few 55 and up developments, and continued investments in just keeping the town vibrant and up to date. Eustis has more available land, so you're going to see more of your new construction residential and commercial projects out that direction. So that's obviously going to mean more housing options for you for relocating, plus the potential for appreciation for your property value, which is always fantastic.
And here's something I have noticed as well with my clients who are moving from New York or New Jersey. If you want that walkable lifestyle, that downtown sort of walking to coffee shops, restaurants, festival sort of lifestyle, you are going to gravitate a little bit more towards Mount Dora. On the other hand, for my buyers who are craving peace and quiet, maybe a larger lot, and a more relaxed pace, you are usually going to lean more towards Eustis. It just has that more hometown vibe where things feel a little bit more calm and a little more spread out. So which is better? At the end of the day, it really comes down to what you're looking for in terms of lifestyle. Mount Dora gives you that historic charm, the artsy vibe, festival calendar that keeps things full and exciting for you year round. It's fantastic for retirees or second home buyers or anyone who wants to be in the middle of a Hallmark storybook small town. Whereas Eustis gives you a little bit more affordability, a little bit more new construction, and a more laid back local vibe. It's fantastic for families, for first time buyers, or anyone who wants a little more bang for their buck in terms of space while still being nice and close to downtown Mount Dora. The best part is you don't have to choose one lifestyle or the other. They are so close that if you live in Eustis, you are still gonna go to Mount Dora for the festivals, for dinner, for time on the lake. And if you live in Mount Dora, you're probably still gonna head to Eustis for a First Friday or a night at the brewery. So whether Mount Dora's charm or Eustis's value speaks more to you, both are fantastic options for small town living in Central Florida. If you're planning a move, I would love to help you explore both towns and tour some homes and figure out what really feels like home to you. Book a call with me in the description box below and let's talk about your move. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.